17th, 2025 is now called to order. HK, you lead us in prayer, please?
Father, thank you for the beautiful day you've given to us. We thank you for the growth of the city of Jamestown. We thank you for the privilege of being a part of that. May that all that is said and done today be in your will. Bless each member who sacrifices to serve our community, and bless us all as we move forward. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I always want to say, like the National Lampoon's Vacation, that one they say a prayer and they say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then she says, play ball.
Yeah.
I'm intended to do that.
You can say it.
I may do it.
We might jump up and play ball.
Yeah.
If everyone's had a chance to look over the minutes from the last meeting, I need a motion for the approval of those minutes, please.
Motion made.
Motion by William. Second. Second by Gail. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the first thing that we have tonight is Miss Ashley Coffey with the County Judge's Office is here with us, and this is something that she's been working on quite a while, and it has to do with the boundary lines. A lot of it to do with your police department, your sheriff's office, what areas each one closed, and this is something I think the state has required her to go in and do some updates on. So I'm not going to pretend like I know a lot about it, because she knows all about it. So we're going to let her tell you about what's going on here, and this is the map that they have. And she's went over this with Officer Chief Kearns and Derek, the sheriff, and they've all kind of worked on this together to make sure that everybody's on board with the way they've got this set up. So Ashley, if you don't care, if you want to tell us about it.
So I'm the 911 mapper for the county. I work at the old courthouse in the county judge's office. So what this is called the Next Generation 911 program. It's going to be implemented at the 911 center here in Russell County at our dispatch center. So the program that they're using now is going away. It's no longer going to be used. So the state has instructed every 911 center in the state of Kentucky to go to these next generation 911 boundaries, which are fire boundaries, law enforcement boundaries, and EMS boundaries. It's just, these boundaries is the exact same area that the Jamestown Police Department is servicing now. It's just a different layout within this new system is essentially all that it is. It's just, this is their area in pink that, or red, sorry, that Jamestown PD is going to be servicing. And then everything around it in the grayish blue color is the Sheriff's Department.
And if I understand just from some of our conversations about this, what a lot of this is going to help in, like your 911 people have maps that they're looking at, which may be different than what your departments were looking at. So there was a confusion as to who was covering.
Yes, it makes it more clear and definitive. When a call comes in, the dispatcher will put the address in, and then when the map locates it based on the address given, it's going to say what department. So if it's in the city and they need law enforcement, they'll say Jamestown Police Department. If they need fire, they'll say Jamestown Fire Department. Or if they need EMS, they'll say Russell County EMS. So it pinpoints it and makes it more clear.
Oh, so it makes such a better connection between your 911 people sending out calls. Jeff, you have anything to add to kind of what she's saying about?
No, she summed it up there. I mean, there was some areas of town that we thought were in the limits that was out, and vice versa. We thought it was out and it was in. So I think we've got that cleaned up. I think if I understand this right, when that call comes through, that dispatcher is going to know where that's at and who to dispatch if it's a law enforcement. Now the fire is not as bad. the EMS, of course, we've only got the one EMS service. So, yeah, I think it's just gonna clean it up, and like she said, it's something that has to be done. And I think, as we progress with younger officers, it takes a while to learn those limits. You know, like I said, there was areas of town that we've been answering calls in for years, and we thought we're in the limits, and come to find out they weren't,
So, and I think from what I've understood about it, that this is kind of just to let you, because when we do this, city will actually have to do a resolution showing that we've adopted this back into us. This is what's showing on the mapping that our police department and stuff covers.
What's the blue at the very top? Is that Russell Springs?
Yes. Yes, each department or agency has their own color. Same with the fire and EMS.
So there's sections that's in the pink that's not us.
No, this is, the sections in the pink now are you all.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like in the inside of the pink, there's grays.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Like Carnes Drive, is that one you're,
Yeah, like around in there, and then there's another one up above it. And those aren't actually in the city.
Orange Drive isn't.
No, Dogwood Drive that you see up towards the top, it's right on the other side of Duval County. The first part of the road is a city street, and then the last section of the road is actually a county road, and they are not in the city limits. They are actually in the county.
and for instance, I think we talked about it, and like Philip Gaskin's property down there, the front part of it is in the city, but all the acreage out behind there is not. So, you know, you may have a front area that the police department, that they cover because it is in the city, but the whole acreage behind it is not. So this is kind of something to clear all that up to where everybody's on
So
board.
we need to look at a lot of things about squaring up, don't we?
Yeah.
That's the Dabney farm, that circle that, what you're looking at, that's a squared off area right there.
Mhm.
That used to go straight up into where Duval County ties in, and then, the Dabney farm wrapped that in. And then the front of Dogwood Drive there, they actually came with consensual annexation several years back when, Miss Coomer was there. So that's how that front part of that little
What is
Dogwood
that?
Drive.
What's the very bottom, the real pinky, intense looking color there? Looks like somebody, see what I'm talking about there?
Right here.
Yes.
Look at this
So,
map.
that is roads that are drawn in for, that RV park
All
down
right,
there.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I got you, all right.
Yeah.
All this.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
And it does have Jamestown Marine in there.
Yeah.
Yes, at the very bottom.
On the bottom.
That's good. I think, is it right in there, actually, yeah, right there is.
Yeah, is anchored in.
Yeah.
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 I still think we need to go a whole way from Greasy Creek to Lily Creek.
Zoom that back in there just a minute, Tyler.
What do you want?
Well, East Cumberland, did you all do some annexing there back several years ago? I thought it went down to about the curve at the bottom of the hill, about to the creek there. Is that what that's showing?
That's
Yes.
that, yeah, that's that, whatever that, we call it dragon head. I don't know exactly what it is over there, but yeah, it's a nasty beast.
Seems all that mainly being farmland, it'd be nice to take the tip of the dragon head or the tail or whatever it is there and take it all the way to the sewer plant or something. Just some stuff we need to think about, I think.
But this mapping pretty much is
Yeah,
her.
it's just for her right now, but
Because.
just looking at that,
Yeah.
there's some stuff we need to look at.
This is just kind of for the benefit of her being able to look at her map and say, this is
And
who
implement
covers
this
this.
dispatch.
And dispatch and the police and the sheriff's office, fire department, all of them have a better understanding of what areas they're covering.
Is Shelby Street on there somewhere?
Yeah, it's on there, but I don't know that.
I don't think there's a name on
Yeah, it's probably not listed on that map right there.
How does this match up with what Secretary of State had on file as their city boundary?
I think it matches pretty much everything now. though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, when you all work together over there, I think it kind of puts everything back in.
I know she's put a lot of work into this, trying to make sure that everything is correct and that it's given a better understanding to people
It's took
going
a
on
little
costs.
over 2 years to get this all squared away for all agencies.
Anybody have any questions for Ashley about that she might can answer that the rest of us don't know, or
I'd love a copy of that sometime.
we've got this right here, we can make copies of that.
I got an email to you.
Okay.
Stretch down.
But that's what we will have to, go ahead and do a resolution in the future then to go ahead and accept that, so. But if nobody has any questions for Ashley, we just appreciate you coming, appreciate all your hard work on it, because I know it's been a lot. And I know at the meeting we had, and everybody going over and all the questions everybody was asking, not only is she dealing with what the police and the sheriff does, the fire department, everybody else, and what 911 does, trying to get them all straight. So we appreciate all your hard work on it. We appreciate you coming and going over it with us.
Well, thank you, I appreciate you letting me come and having, discussion. If y'all have any other questions, feel free to call my office, the judge's office, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that
Thank you.
Thank you.
When's it go live, Ashley?
It will go live as soon as you all and the city of Russell Springs do the resolutions and I get with the IT company. Because there's stuff that I implement on my end, but once I get my stuff implemented, the IT actually has to go in the background of the system and dispatch and implement it that way. So hopefully, I really hate to give a timeline, but as soon as possible, honestly.
I mean, is it something that, if we go to a resolution, is it something we need a special call meeting for, or is like next month's meeting?
Next month's fine. Okay.
If it needs to be a special call, I'll let you all know. Okay, next month will be fine.
If it needs to be before next month, just let us know and we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming. That's the only thing we had for new business, but there's quite a few things I think that we need to discuss a little bit on. One of them being, that's coming up, and that's gonna be the side-by-sides. It's a lot of talk going on around it. I've seen it on the news, I've seen it on, heard it on the radio, but there's lots of talk in different counties, different cities is looking at it all different ways. And I talked to Judge Markham today, and they have discussed it. I think they are maybe looking at some restrictions. I'm not sure what all, but they haven't. They're just to the point of next month will be their first reading of an ordinance, and then whether it passes then or not will be after the second reading. But it is something that, and I think everyone's aware that even that, like right now, the sheriff can do inspections, they can do licensing, they can do all that needs done, but you can do that, and if it's not been approved in your county or city, then they can get all that license stuff, but they have to write it somewhere that it is approved. So the county was getting ready, I guess, to make their decision on it. And then one of the thoughts, the way I understand it is, even though the county, if they were to pass it, for people to be able to ride in the city would have to pass an ordinance also. You understand it that way?
Yes.
Okay. So, you could say the county could vote yes, it's okay for side-by-sides, and the city could vote it down. They could ride in the county, but couldn't ride in the city. So probably
But do we
by,
have to vote yes? Would we have to have a yes vote about it? or-
Well, I think it is a countywide thing, but we can actually say in town we're not gonna do it.
Right, I understand that, but if we're not gonna say we're not, we wouldn't.
Right, it just stays the same.
we still have to pass an ordinance,
Yeah.
though, saying that it is okay to ride in the city.
Okay.
Yes. Each city and each county has to pass their own ordinance.
So the county can pass it,
And city
and
not.
if the city not pass it, they couldn't ride in the city.
That's right. They could ride in the county, but not. And there's questions about federal highways and stuff. And there's some things I've been trying to check and look up as much information as I can on it and listen to other people on the news and stuff. But there is questions about, like, can they be ridden on federal highway? Is federal roads prohibited? There's lots of different questions, I think, still out there. So as much information as anybody wants to search or try to find out, and I'm doing the same, trying to get as much information for everybody that I can, but by no means know all the rules and stuff behind it. I know there's a question of, like, what kind of insurance do they have to have? Does the insurance just cover that person and that side by side? Does it cover if they hit another vehicle? Does it cover if it's hit something off the road, somebody's house? What all does the insurance cover? I've heard that being a question brought up. And then I believe that one of the rules is they can only go 20 miles. I believe that's what the state passed, that they can't travel farther than 20 miles, but is it certain speed limit areas? I think there's a rule as to what roads that speed limit has to be a certain amount. So there's things that's got to, I guess we need more information about before we know exactly, what the rules and stuff are going to be behind it. So I guess just, next month we'll try to have more information and try to be prepared to make a decision as to, how we want to go on that. So if you will, just get as much information as you can or try to find out. And I'll try to find out as much more that I can. But that's some of the things that I have heard just in newscasts and stuff. You may have any questions or thoughts or anything about that, about the side by side? Anything, Jeff, you have anything? I mean, am I correct in some of those things? That there's
Yes,
speed limit on?
Senate Bill 63 came down, the city has to opt into it, the jurisdiction that was kind of passed down from the state. There is misinformation going out like crazy. We are encountering people on those when that law went into effect, thinking they are legal, and they are not legal until you guys voted in or say yes or no. So we are coming across those folks on those, and they're like, oh yeah, the law says we can ride them on the road. No, you can't until you say yes.
But Chief, is the administration of it still the sheriff's office though, as far as inspection?
They will still do the
Yes.
inspections, yes.
There you go.
We are even getting folks that have got them inspected in other jurisdictions that have passed it, and they have the tag and they've done what they need to do for that jurisdiction, but they think they can ride them here, and that's no, that can't be done, so.
And I believe that there's an exempt rule for farmers and stuff that
There is,
ride
yeah,
within
farming,
so much
coal
that they're
mining,
allowed. Yeah, I think there's some exemptions on
What's that exactly?
certain things like that.
For what's that?
Farm.
It's written in there if you're tending to livestock and so forth and stuff.
Gas or going checking another piece.
So to disallow it, we don't necessarily have to vote, adopt an ordinance saying it's not permitted. We just have to not do nothing to disallow
No,
it.
we have to have an ordinance, yes or
The
no.
HK's not.
Opting in, though, we have to opt into it. We don't have to, we don't do an ordinance structuring the whole thing. We just do an
Opting in
ordinance
or out.
saying that we're opting in and let the ordinance that governs the thing within the county. The way I understand it. Because that's gonna deal with insurance, inspection. Am I correct, Chief?
Yeah, the sheriff's
That's
department
that's
does
the
do it.
sheriff's department.
Yes.
All we have to do is say that it's going to be legal in the city of Jamestown. Wherever that is, it's mapped through the all. I don't know.
My opinion, if the county votes it for them to opt in, I think I'm all about just opting in and being done with it
Or if they
because
vote not to. I mean, that.
so then the sheriff still has to do the inspections.
But you
But
still
I'm- I
gotta
mean-
look at it as if you're controlling for the city, if something happens, and I'm just throwing this out there, let's say there is a bad accident or something, and there's some kind of lawsuit, or I'm just saying if then it's against the city, it's not against the county because the
That can
county
happen
did
with
it.
a bicycle or anything else.
Exactly, but I'm just saying that's why a city has to opt in or opt out, because the city is responsible for what they opt in and what they opt out. The county's responsible for their own. So that's why you can't just say, that whatever the county does.
I guess my
You do,
point,
I guess, you just gotta make your own decision as to whether you want to allow it or not.
well, my point was like what Jeff's talking about with confusion, people coming here that's maybe passed, got their stuff inspected and got legal in another county someplace, and they come here and think they're legal here. If you got the county saying yes and the city saying no,
Just that much more confusing.
it's gonna create, yeah.
It is, it's gonna be an awkward thing.
That's the reason I'm saying, if they say yes, to me, we're just kind of obligated to go along with them.
And we're even encountering people that don't even have the plates. We're encountering people that don't have anything, they've not been inspected, they said, the law says we can ride them. Yes, the Senate bill just came down from the state, but they passed the buck down to the local jurisdictions to pass it.
And that's why each city and each county has to have their own ordinance. So, saying yes or no, because you're allowed to, like I say, if the county says yes and the city wants to say no, you can. If the county says no and the city wants to say yeah, then everybody wants to ride to Jamestown can, but they can't ride about the county.
Yeah.
So I'm like you,
Can't get out of the
that's
can.
gonna create a very awkward understanding between
It's gonna be a
people.
nightmare for the police.
Because, if cities go one way and the county goes another, you're gonna have people confused.
I can imagine, given this map here, how anybody would, in the county police, and you can't drive in the city, I mean, that's something, I mean,
Yeah.
horrible.
That's the state law that's come out, has to be passed by each one. But, yeah, and I don't know, I think at Bear County, they've had, maybe the first ordinance reading, I think, on it.
I know Lincoln County had already done theirs because they've already come out with stuff online.
And I think the quicker that we do this and make a decision, the better it is, because you are gonna get into situations of people being here thinking they can ride or they can't ride, or not knowing whether they can ride or if they can't. So I think just prolonging it is just gonna cause more turmoil going on of people not knowing. Because I guarantee you, people, like you say, people right now think that they can ride them because the state has passed it. So you try to tell them that you can't ride it right here in Jamestown, but you can ride it out somewhere in the
Go down there and
county.
unload it, out on the bypass and go wherever you want to towards
You're
town.
gonna have a lot of confused people.
It's gonna be a nightmare if the county does one thing and the cities do it.
Exactly.
But I think the
It's gonna be a
county
nightmare for police.
next meeting will have their first ordinance reading, so.
I think the state could have handled this much better,
The state could have just done it.
done it one way or the other,
Yeah,
and without passing it down to everybody else.
yeah.
Because there'll be instances where a county and a
Do we
city,
need to,
But
since,
think about what that
somewhere.
does, that puts
you know,
Yeah.
Pressure on the people,
That's right. The local people.
the local people, and it also puts the obligation on who it falls back on too. Don't fall back on the
since we
state.
don't know whether,
County
if
too.
they're gonna have a reading of theirs the next time, do we need to let H have us, ordinance drew up each way to where we can decide and vote on one?
We can, or we can do a special
I mean, that
call
would-
for.
I mean, that would take care of one reading, and then you could do a special call for your second.
Of course, you've got to have both readings before you ever do a vote, so you can have your ordinances read
Right.
and then voted either
Right.
way. So having an ordinance really read isn't gonna,
That's what I'm saying, would we be as well off to let him go ahead and draft them after, if they pass?
Yeah.
That way we're prepared.
There's all kinds of requirements.
The odds of requirements.
Headlights, taillights, brake lights, turn signals, mirrors, windshield,
I like
illuminated speedometer, road cage, seatbelts for each passenger, sufficient tire tread depth, registered and insured, that we issued a motorcycle license plate, prohibited from operating on interstates and major highways.
and I do think, yeah, that I'm
This is a
also,
major highway. 127 a major highway.
it's federal highway.
That's what I would think.
Don't state that, right? It says-
The radio is going to the county roads,
But there's also been, I've heard a question as to, just like you brought up about the tires, and you mentioned it there, a lot of these tires on these are made for off-road, they're not made for your highway use. So somebody gonna inspect your tires and know what kind of tires you're gonna have on it, you know? Of
Like
course,
they're
they
just
don't work
wearing
back on the
treadmill.
sheriff's office.
Daylight hours?
I have looked at the Senate bill, but it is like trying to read through muddy water in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I'm looking at a broke down version. This says daylight hours unless engaged in snow removal or emergency road maintenance.
So there's lots of different things out there that it's tied to. It's not just lots of regulations, a lot of restrictions, so.
I gotta have headlights for this to be on.
Well, we're in the tourist area, and I know for a fact that tourists have been pushing for this. In the lake-oriented communities, Jabez, there's several lake communities over there, they were trying to get the county to pass an ordinance where they could ride over there back several years ago. And they've got a good point, they got these little backwoods boat ramps, and there's no parking, you know, and several people in the community go down there, and there's no place for them to park, whereas if they had the ATVs, they could ride boats down there legally, they could get more parking, they could park more people down there.
They already
But
do
the
that.
side
Pleasant
streets of
Hill.
Jamestown is a different story than Jabez.
Oh, right, yeah, I know, I'm just saying, there's,
If you go to Pleasant Hill on
But
any
we're all
weekend,
just
that's all
around.
you see parked on the side down there, and in the parking areas is side by sides. They're already taking them down there all the time,
we're at the
down
marina.
Pleasant Hill. That's all you see down there anymore. And they're pulling boats in and out with them. I was like, I don't know if I'd trust going up that hill.
So, and I think it's just, there's probably still a lot that people don't know, but I think that that's probably why a lot of it was passed down to your cities and counties, I feel like. You know, just because of, there's still a lot that probably your state don't want to deal with, that it would fall back to.
Is KLC offering any guidance on it? Are they trying to sort out the bill that they passed so they can give us guidance of what it all means?
We can check with KLC, but I think they're pretty much going to tell us what the state bill has passed, and that you're pretty much obligated to make a difference one way or the other as to.
Yeah, but I mean, the way Tyler's talking there's a lot of stuff in there that I would like to know answers to really good before we even vote on it.
And it's in that state bill that you know, it's I don't know how many pages it is, but they've got everything in that bill. But it has to pass the inspection pretty much just like a vehicle at the courthouse. It has to pass, but I don't know. I'm assuming the sheriff knows all about the tires and stuff. That's got to be.
Me and him talked about one day, a couple of weeks ago, and he said, he's already getting calls. He said, that's fine, you can come down and give me your $25, I've got the forms to go over it. And he said, if it passes, it passes, but he said, you still can't drive it.
Right.
But he said, you can go ahead and pay to get it registered and get your plates and the whole 9 yards. He said, you can do everything you want to.
Yeah, I think they've already had people come in
Yeah.
and license.
Because he showed me one of the forms, everything to check off something.
Is it registered on value or registered just a straight flat $25?
That's gonna be no, you pay $25 for the inspection.
Okay.
And then you gotta go over to the clerk's office and get it registered and pay tax value on it there like you would a vehicle.
That's what.
And then they give you a license plate.
And you do, it is licensed as a motorcycle.
Yes, I don't know.
It is, yeah.
So I don't know, are they gonna require you to get a motorcycle license then?
I don't know, but it's licensed as a motorcycle, the tag will be motorcycle.
Regular driver's license.
Yeah, it says valid operator's license.
License dollar, yes. Can't be like underage, which is, that was the golf cart problem we had when we had golf carts, which the state made those rules too, for the golf cart.
So that's just something you've got, something to think about, kind of maybe get as much information as you can, and I'll do as much as I can, and I'll try to find out as much as I can, but a lot of it's clear as mud, a lot of it's things that, you'd have to try to identify what all that state bill includes, and it's a lot over my head, so, which don't take much to get over my head, but anyway. So that's something coming up, so make sure you kind of have an idea of what you want to do there, okay? Another thing we need to, I think, talk about is the water tank. We talked about a little bit about that. The tank up at Stevens Pipe and Steel that we're getting painted and getting redone, and we have had Danielle inquire about what we would want, for them to put their name on it for advertising. So we just kind of need to decide something on how we want to go there. Is that something we want to say, give us an offer of what you would do to put your name on it? Do you want to put it out there and ask if there's anybody that wants to put their name? I mean, where do you all want to go with this? It's just something, if not, then Jamestown will go on the water tank because it's Jamestown Power. But if we want to try to advertise to see if anybody wants to pay to put their name on there, or if we want to say, give us an offer of what you would want to, and then we can say, yeah, we want to do that, or we don't, or where do you all want to go with this?
We're gonna have to paint it regardless, right?
It's, yes,
But I mean, does it have to be painted before that their advertising goes on, or would that count as part of the painting?
well, they'll paint it, and then whatever name
And then
goes
they'll
on,
put on
they'll
it.
put the name on it.
Okay.
But we've got to let them know, because they're getting ready to do it, they're getting ready to paint the tower.
Does anybody know of any place that has used one for that purpose, for advertising, for a company or whatnot?
Russell Springs got one advertising Kentucky National Guard, or did have, unless it's been repainted, I don't know. They done that years ago, that's on their key realty.
That's the thing about it, would you have to tell them that it would stay on for a minimum length of time or whatever?
Well, and that tower's been there, how many, probably should have been painted 4 or 5 years ago, but they have let it go
Wow.
down to where it's required, the inspection says it's got to be done, but probably should have been done a few years back, but once they require, then to me, that's when you would, if you're gonna change something, you would change it then, because,
Would there be something to put on in Jamestown, best city in the world or something, I mean, like that you could put on the tank?
I guess they can put anything we want to on there.
As a promotion?
It did have Stevens Pipe
Florence,
and Steel
y'all,
on
used to be Florence Mall.
it.
Florence, y'all, used to be Florence Mall.
But they made them change it to Florence You All because of some ordeal in
Some-
advertising.
Well, it was something to do with that, mall. I don't know, I forgot the story on that.
So that's something that I need to let Danielle know something about, what, if we, because that's something she has to take to her board. Do we want to?
Just to be clear on, because we got 3 tanks to Stevens Pipe and Steel. You're talking about the one on Bernard Ridge, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, not the one between here and Russell Springs.
No, Bernard Ridge,
Oh.
Stevens Pipe. That's what I'm saying.
I thought it was the one that's right next to the apartments up there on the airport road.
There's one there that was, I know it's still wrong.
I was thinking,
Bernard.
I just, okay.
Right now, whenever they just did the bids and stuff, they were gonna plan on putting Jamestown on it, just because it was Jamestown Water Tower and there was nothing else at the time.
I just, Danielle, what they, what they would give for something.
What they would want to pay. and
Who would have an
see.
idea what they would usually do?
I wouldn't have a clue. I mean, I've never,
But then right there at Stevens, he might
I could be mistaken, but
turn out pay big money for it.
when Russell Springs
And
got
we
the
can set, tell
National
people when they're
Guard,
coming to look for the water
I
tower.
don't know that they paid all of it, they paid a pretty good chunk.
I'll text Jeremy, see if I can get out of him what to,
They paid a good chunk of that.
text Jeremy and see if he knows what they got paid.
of course, that was years ago, too, so
Yeah,
it's
that's what I'm
probably,
saying though, but that kind of give you some kind of idea.
it'd be a whole lot of difference of what the cost was that many years ago and what it is now, I'd say. I don't know how many years ago that's been, but
Well, I'm just saying, if it's very much, then you know that you.
our cost is $187,000, we know that, to get it painted. We know that our cost is $187,000 to get it painted inside out and do
Well,
that.
that's the reason I was thinking 40 or 50 to put their name on it.
I don't have a clue. I mean, if you're talking about it's out in Bernard Bridge, too. That's
It's
the-
off the beaten path.
Off the beach. People's gonna see it, people out there.
Yeah, through the wind.
It'd be different.
Be better.
So do you want me to just have her to give, she does a, I mean, or do you want to put Jamestown on it, or do you want to have her give us a?
We can get part of it paid for, even if it's, you know, $10,000, that's $10,000.
Yeah.
Well, let's just have her to give us an amount that they would like to offer to, and then y'all can say yes or no. That work?
Well, I'd rather they give a lot more than 10,000.
I
would.
I'd rather have Jamestown on it,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, for,
Well, you have.
That's the reason I'm
option to
saying
say
just
no,
let
we
her
don't wanna
shoot you.
accept it. That's
Let
the
her
thing.
shoot you
You
the
don't
number
go
and then
on to
go from
them
there.
If you don't want to accept whatever they offer. Okay, so just make us an offer, and then we can, okay.
I don't know how you research it, but
I mean,
find
that's big
somebody
advertising
that's done it
regardless.
before, you know? Or if anybody's still around that was part of that Russ Springs, you know?
But you're
Well,
looking
you
at a lot
see
of
that-
years ago, Barry. You're looking at a lot of years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have paid the amount back then, but the amount back then might have been $20,000 to paint it.
Yeah,
Now it's
But,
187.
well, I'm talking about researching other places too, you know, but
well, you see that though in other places, or I have, like.
there's guys that can tell us more about it, sitting right there. And they're not paying any attention to them.
Wayne was gonna kill, get me right advertised down there.
Them guys can research, tell him what
National
they say.
Guard paying a portion for Russell.
25?
I don't remember,
I don't know why that sticks in my head, I'm thinking 25,000.
but you remember it.
It's been quite.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying, 40 or 50 to me would be reasonable.
Could be a question for on the radio. What was the amount paid? Put your name on the water tower.
I'd say the location's gonna hurt that worse than anything, because it needs.
It's out. It's not like it's this water tank sitting right here in town or between here and Fruit
But like you're saying, that was that many years ago, it ought to be worth at least whatever they paid back then, for it to be done now, out there.
That's why I thought Terry Stevens served Stevens Pine Steel Mine.
Be a lot of people say.
I can see Terry.
That's-
Every 2 quarters, all you can do is say, look for your water tower.
Well, Williams got a good point, you know, location has a lot to do with going down Bernard Bridge too,
Yeah,
you know.
but you know, Stevens Pine Steel, that's his headquarters place there. I mean,
Well, I think everybody's coming to Stephen Pipe Steel knows where Stephen Pipe Steel is.
Yeah.
I mean, but you see that, like, I've seen, up in Noblesville, Indiana, there used to be a big water tank there by Firestone. They had a big Firestone plant there, big water tank, but it had Firestone paint on it. I mean, you see, you used to, I don't know if that's still a thing or not, but you used to see that.
Was that Makerville?
No, that was Noblesville.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna ask for what they want to offer to put their name on it, and we'll go from there. Does that work? Okay, next thing is Judy McClure, who works at the ad office. I think they had come to us last year about a donation for the spay and neuter clinic. Last year we did $2,000. We were working on a grant right there this week, and she asked if we would bring that up because that $2,000 has been used right at the end of being used, and I think you all have copies there of kind of what she sent. The top of it tells you how much the county had put in and how many animals that those grants covered. And then the city of Jamestown provided $2,000, and it had, I believe it was 30, and that comes to about $67 per each animal, I think, and that's probably about the going rate for what they charge. maybe a little more if you don't have, maybe a little more than that.
You
If you
give
don't-
300 to have mine done.
That's what I'm saying, they get a big discount because they're doing so many and it's through the
Cause I like to have a heart
organization.
attack.
But they did say that they have
Wrong
noticed a good decrease in a lot of animals and stuff running around since they started doing this, and they want to continue it. So they're just asking again that we would do a donation again to continue helping them do the spay neuter clinic.
When did we do this original donation? Was that last year?
It was last year.
Or the year before?
I think it was last year.
I'll make a motion, give them the same as we did before.
Motion by Dwight to give them, which is the same amount, which was $2,000.
Second.
Second by Tony, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we'll let her know that. Another thing, this is just something that I'd like to do. So it's something that I think we need, and this is just over here at Beck Park, the stage. And that's going to not be very much expense, but I'd like to get a sign made to put up in the top of the stage over there that says Beck Park, Jamestown, Kentucky. I think it needs to be there. Plus, if you notice every time that we post something on Facebook, there's an event at Beck Park, you'll have 10 to 15 comments on there, and half of them will say, where's Beck Park? Where's it at in Jamestown? Where's it at? So I think it would be a good, just to have a sign there. Debbie and I talked about it this week, just, that, like I say, I don't know what it would cost. Wouldn't be much. I think we're going to check with Sean, see if that's something that he can just do, like we have those boards that you can just cover and try to get something maybe just to fit up in the awning up there that says Beck Park.
It's pretty good thinking there, Mayor.
Y'all should pay me for all my thinking. But
You get the
anyway,
big bucks money.
huh?
I thought you got the big bucks money.
I do. But I just, if that's something we'd like to check into and see, maybe get that put up there. That's,
I'd say do it.
and then while we're talking about Beck Park, we need to think about doing a movie night because we're less than a month away from school starting back, and I know it's hot, but we've got Lake Fest pastas and try to, get a movie night or two in before school starts. And then I think fall would be a great time to try to get some more groups on the stage for when it cools off. It's awful hot right now. You're not going to have a lot of people come out.
When's your next farm or market day?
Well, we had one scheduled, but the heat was so bad, we only had one.
I was just thinking that the next time you're done market, you follow it with a movie night that night.
Mhm.
Movie night will be later if we try to do it before school.
It'll have to be
You know,
because it's getting
it's not getting
dark.
dark till late. That's,
Yeah.
we push them off to spring and fall when we done them to try to start them at 7 o'clock. You never got to start at 7 o'clock. It's more like 7:30. So you're starting
8 o'clock,
now.
some of them was 8 o'clock.
It'll be 8:30, 9 o'clock, now.
But the bad thing about that is if you have to start 7:30, 8 o'clock when they're in school, of course it's a Friday night, but a lot of them, if you can maybe do, even if it is later, we can maybe do one. Kids aren't having to go to school now
Saturday
anyway,
night.
but I don't know. Whatever y'all think, if you want to try to get one before school, or if you want to wait till after school starts and it cools down and try to get to where it's dark early. I just think we need to try, we have people asking about it. Want to know when we're going to have a kids movie night. Any thoughts?
Kick you out tonight that, the days are getting shorter, run with it. Something that's been used in the past, go with it.
Early September, or do it in August, or which school starts in August?
I think August 13th.
Time I always get you, they'd be quite a bit shorter than that.
I'm sorry.
They'd be quite a bit shorter than that.
To be,
You can tell it now.
You can.
well, we'll just look at the calendar and see what we can come up with. And then we're gonna also try to get some groups scheduled, maybe some singing groups, maybe a couple gospel groups, to try to utilize that stage over there some. So, only other thing I have is big turnout for Lake Fest. I mean, thanks to everybody that helped work because it was a lot. There was a lot going on and hot. We had people out at the stops handing out water and stuff that they had to send home that was sick and got sick. People had to replace them that, you stand out in the heat on that blacktop with no fan, no. We tried to keep them water and everything down there, just often in the coolers and stuff like that, but it's still, it's hard to stand there that many hours and do something like that.
One of them streets almost needs a 10 by 10, don't they? They can put up somehow. One of them little 10 by 10 pop-ups of some kind where they at least could have a little shade.
Yeah. Yeah, it would help, any little thing, I'm sure would help. Had good turnout for the raves, we had good turnout for the pageants, the wrestling had a big crowd. Heard nothing but good about the bands, and so I think fireworks was, I had numerous people stop me in the crowd after the fireworks was over and said they were from different counties and that they come over here every year for the singing and for the fireworks. That a lot of compliments about that. So a lot of hard work by, I know Davey put in lots of, and it's not just y'all, not just the 2 days of Lake Fest, but scheduling all those vendors and trying to put them, and then the guys had the square cleaned up before you come through on Sunday, and
Couldn't ever tell who did it.
it's a lot of work. And
It amazes me how good the boys does.
Everybody does
And
a good
I
job.
think the square looks great, those big flower pots, Daniel, Popwell, and the other city employees that's involved with that, those look really good, I think.
More people compliment, I mean, it's everywhere I go.
Those
Say,
people.
there's people say they just drive down here without one square to look at them. Said, I get it. Daniel takes credit, but I'm out there before he is at 4 o'clock in the morning. Nobody believes me, I don't know. I tried to take credit.
I believe you. I believe you.
You do, don't you? See me go out, don't you?
Listen, there's something that I thought about for a while, and Tadpole kind of hit on it when you think about it. He said that's why Regena got paid the big bucks. Listen, our mayor doesn't make anything, okay? I know how much they run. I know how much Debbie and Regena run to get supplies they buy stuff in the off season. They'll go to places on sale and get stuff for Christmas in the summer, take trips and buy stuff, and they're always running and doing and meeting people, and she's at so many meetings, it's crazy. I don't think she gets near what the mayor ought to be getting if they're doing what they should be doing, and she does.
I agree.
I know you can't vote it in now, but it's something we need to kick around for the future.
I completely agree with you. She does a lot, and any mayor, I mean, there's just so many phone calls, and always some little problem, really issue, some, call the mayor, checking with the mayor about this and that, and she don't pay enough. I agree.
I don't guess it covers what she spends in a year.
You gotta do it because you love the city.
Well, I understand that, but you don't need to lose money doing it,
Yeah.
So I think it's something we ought to think about, and, before, maybe before the next election.
Of course, you all know the rules to that. I mean, any increases in city council or the mayor has to be done in the term for the next term. It cannot be for who's in office. I'm correct, Tyler. Cannot be who's in office now. If you want to vote for whoever is in office you would have to do that during your term, before your term's up this time, and it would take effect for the next mayor and your next group of council people. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the nice words and
Well, it's just, it's easy to see how much
There's
running
so
you
much
do.
time that you're down here. And like I say, going to meetings and this, that, and the other, just taking care of things.
there's a lot to it. I mean, if you want to do it right or try your best to do it right and you know, there's a lot. You get a lot of phone calls and lots of people, you know, places that you have to be and trying to plan things and making sure everything runs smooth and be fair to everybody. And there's a lot to it. And your finance, you gotta make sure your money's there for things you need and that you're doing everything, staying on top of things that need to be done to keep the city in good shape. But I appreciate that. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about? Yes, sir?
First of all, I'm sorry, it's also been doing me, I apologize, but it'll be August, I've lived here 1 year, and I just want to say thank you again for your effective and affordable administration of the city. Where I moved from was ridiculously expensive and didn't get any service. North Cincinnati, Sycamore Township, you guys did an incredible job, so thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You appreciate you showing up. Yeah, you come to different meetings and.
I tried to be involved in the community, but, you know, I don't know who's Democrat, who's Republican, but I don't care, y'all work together great and you get things done. Thank you.
We don't know either.
That's what I figured. But,
Oh, yes, they
Yeah, we do.
Some of us need it.
But thank you, yeah, it's all nonpartisan, but thank you, because it's not often that you get good words.
yeah, I'm sure you get lots of complaints, but I just want to say thank you. And, you know, I spent time here as a little kid because I had some cousins in the area and great aunts and uncles, and then coming back, it's just like, oh wow, I remember this, and it's so great, so thank you.
Your enthusiasm for living in Jamestown is wonderful. I mean, it's great to see.
He lives in a nice part of town too.
Yeah, he lives close to HK.
No, he's our neighbor. He must be our neighbor.
He's close to HK, I know where he lives, yeah.
Right down the street from the church is Jamestown First Baptist. I can see it from my front yard, so.
Yeah, but he just lives out the road straight across from you.
Sure do.
But we appreciate you coming and your thoughts, and anytime you're
Well,
welcome.
I'll try to come more often. It's been a crazy year with family stuff and issues in Cincinnati, but thank you again.
All right. Anybody else? I'm sorry. KLC. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Almost forgot it. I thought I wrote notes about everything. KLC coming up in Owensboro in September. So anybody that wants to attend, we need to try to get rooms booked as soon as possible, because they go fast, and probably a lot of them probably already gone, but it's.
I know the hotel across the road, Rough Springs, it said the other day it's already booked up.
Somebody,
So
yeah.
I don't know what the next closest one is, but
You know September what?
the 15th.
I'll call you. Stop by or something.
Okay.
You already know all of those.
So just let Debbie know, because she's gonna call and, I will, just check with me, I'll look it up for you.
23rd to the 26th.
23rd to the 26th.
Well, I couldn't leave that.
And it's in Owensboro,
Owensboro.
yeah. So, try to, within this next, sometime before the end of this, if you can by the middle of the week, let her know, because,
Because I know for sure if they can tell me tomorrow,
yeah.
I'll call tomorrow.
Because, and you get different rates too, as when you book. If you book early, you get better rates than if you wait till. So, just anybody that's planning on going.
Check with them before you book me.
It's a good thing. I've met a lot of people at KLC and get a lot of contacts. When you need to find out information, it's nice to know sometimes.
I don't know how they've got done.
Yeah.
They might be able to contact all ours.
Nobody else has anything else?
Oh,
I forgot, great police and fire too. I see those red lights and hear the sirens going on my street all the time. There's some really sick people down there. Every day the red lights and sirens go on the road.
They do a good job. They stay on top of everything. I don't know of anything that, there's, Jeff has a lot going on, I know, and it's a lot that, they have to all try to cover and do and stay safe and keep people safe. And so, police department, fire department, any of the first responders, they all do an excellent job. They go out and help different counties when counties need help, and so it's just I actually got a letter from, I think it was when they were looking for a body in another county, and they went from here, and they're actually the ones who found the body, so they're drowning. So, just thanking us for allowing them to come and do stuff like that. So, a lot of good workers out there that don't get a lot of what they deserve,
And we've had some pretty good sized parades coming through town. We've had some softball and baseball teams that's won the state.
Yeah.
And so you might have heard it, but I don't know if you've seen it. There was a big old parade came through town.
Now, how would you know about that?
There's 3 of them, wasn't there? 3 different teams that went to state.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And what was the name of that park again? The park we said, the name of the park with the sign?
Beck Park, it's over here where the stage is. It's been Beck Park, and I guess we all that have lived here all of our lives know that to be Beck Park, but then you kind of take that stuff for granted, that when you're posting stuff, something's going on in Beck Park.
I didn't know about it, so check it out.
That
Start on
everybody
the
knows.
corner.
Right there on the corner where the blue stage is with all the picnic tables over here,
Okay, right.
that's Beck Park.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I noticed we missed out on something.
what's that?
Remember whenever the old boys come through and ask us about doing the cruise in down here? Guess they ended up going to Springs on us.
I don't remember us going to do it down here.
Yeah, because in Tyler talk, remember we talked about, because we have to park them on the side of the streets probably and stuff. But I've noticed they've got several weekends booked up there.
Yeah, also,
Yeah.
one weekend a month also.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have General Lee jumping over the Doughboys, so there you go.
Last one didn't make it over.
Hey, the first one did though. The first one made it over the Doughboy, just took the saber with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're right, on garbage.
That counties took over.
No, that he's selling out.
I don't know that.
I don't know if it's maybe 2 years. We
Yeah,
probably need to be
down the road.
thinking about
Yeah.
possibilities there.
And another thing, we had a request, Tyler's working on this from Donnie Wilkerson and the Adams about a pedestrian sign here, there at Smart Start where it's got the lines and everything for pedestrian, that we're working on getting signs. But again, that all has to go through the state. And
Where is
he's right there, the old library, right there where the kids cross going back and forth up there. So we're working on getting signs. He's put in a request. We're just waiting on an answer back from them. And the lines are already there. So, but again, it's something that
You
has to
seen
go
the
through
new
the
ball
state.
fields that they're working on, the old ones at the old Russell Springs Elementary? I wonder if that's something we could do at our park.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's work to be done there,
Well, I mean, doing the turf and all that. so-
Oh, well, ours is probably first.
I've got to go.
Eventually, when we come back.
Looking at
Looking at doing a little league field in turf pretty soon.
It just makes such a difference. That's what I mean, you were talking about whenever the girls was playing up there in the city park up there. and it's
Well, I think we'll have girls softball for this fall, won't we? Yeah.
just-
Jamestown.
That would be
And
wonderful.
then possibly looking pretty quick, but they've had some turf laid out over there, measuring it out.
I don't know if that's what it was for, but they are,
That's what he,
David came and talked about trying to get some booster money together and wanted to come talk to us, possibly about getting some, but he wanted to get everything lined up on his end first. He'd got drain pipe, we'd have to get rock and then everything turf, but he wanted to know, he was wanting to get everything together first before he came in. But there
It
is
just
talk
makes
about.
such a difference in the way they look when they brick that up.
Well, the mold fields at the grade school, they've been like that since I played Little League, really. I mean, Jamestown, Russ Springs had separate Little Leagues then, actually. It's been that long. We go play them once a year.
That might have been before my time.
Nice.
Yeah.
You was a little kid, I think. Yeah, there's stuff that ours needs, you know, we've had the same fences turning up a lot of places, and there's stuff we need.
I just think it'd be nice if we could kind of update ours
Oh,
while
yeah,
they're.
well, there's, enlarge it too would be good, you know.
Well, and with that being said, like I said, Debbie and I was at the ad office signing the paperwork and all that grant stuff, and we always inquire about any things that we can get or any grants available, and that's one of the things we asked about was, what about parks and recreation? And she said it's just the hardest thing right now to get. She said there's hardly any funds available for it, that they had one approved, was it 3 years ago? That's still not got the funding. She said it's one of the hardest that there is, and we said, can you get a grant to purchase the land, or do you have to already have land to even apply? You already have to own your own land.
Mhm.
You can't apply for a grant to purchase land for recreation or park. You've got to have your own land, and then you can apply, but, and I'm not trying to be, but that's just what she told us, you know, because we're pushing for anything we can get that there's lots of things we need grant monies for, but we really would like to get the park. That's something that was one of the main things we wanted to ask about, and that's what she told us, just a really, really tough, hard thing to get, and this one's been 3 years, and it's
Guess this is a Tyler question.
been approved, but.
Yeah, I remember.
So, that's just,
Hey Tyler, during Lake Fest, there's one thing I noticed, coming down the sidewalks, it's like in every one of the manholes, the concrete's shifted in, ain't it? Is that from inflow, or is that?
The man, those are, you're talking about the storm drains?
Yeah.
That's a state issue. They've replaced two going up through there. Yeah, they're.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think-
Every one of them's dropped about that much.
I think they will run over them, and they break off in the front of them. And we replaced two now in the last probably year, I guess, I think.
I just noticed them coming down the sidewalk, of course, on the golf cart. Ka-clunk, ka-clunk, ka-clunk. It's like speed bumps.
yeah. Okay. Anybody have anything else? No, I think
Motion
it's,
adjourned.
Motion to adjourn, yes.
need a second? Second. All in favor? Everybody else? Thank you.
HK's got to get some wings.